Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love. You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna cry, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. I don't know what you want. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love. You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Vanquisher League week number 6. I'm Raptor, joined today by Golden Gad and his awesome background collection of statues that look sick as hell. As we've got OMG versus ID. I'm pretty hyped for this matchup. How about you?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty hyped as well. You know, first time stepping in here for the Vanquisher League. I'm excited to watch some gameplay other than my usual Divinity League. So we'll see what's the differences between the two, and if I see anything, spectacular or about the same level, I will also call those out as well. So we'll see if there's anything crazy going on within this league. And I looked over the league a bit. I saw ID currently sitting at 4-1. So a pretty respectable standing if they do want to make it into that top 4 for playoffs. And then OMG obviously sitting 2-3. So just off those stats alone, theoretically ID should be favored in this matchup. What do you think about that?
I would agree with that, but we have seen quite a bit of surprises. I mean, last week when I did the cast, we had the upset of number 2 over number 1. So I wouldn't be surprised to see another today, but we'll see what happens. We're getting ready to get on into this draft. I know we were looking at this before the game. We saw some of their mains. I don't know what your thoughts on some of the.
There was one in particular, and it's on the screen right now. You're seeing Midnight for OMG. Shaco as the highest mastery. Masters 0 LP currently sitting there. And you see Master Yi, quite the solo queue champion. Ribbon in the support category as well. So pretty interesting stuff there. We'll see if those are merely just, old flames from the past, or maybe they'll pull them out as well. Who knows? But besides that, pretty standard stuff. Camille and Lucian as well. So Flame, Source Walker, Midnight, Ketu, and Joust. And then on the side of ID, we got Gwen, Caesark, the 14th Reason, Wheela, Yarg. Nothing too out of the ordinary here, besides maybe Mordekaiser for that highest mastery there. But I've seen more jungle, and it works pretty well in my opinion. So I think it's definitely something that can be pulled out if you are proficient enough.
Yeah, and I think Mordekaiser is always really exciting to see. And I have seen it in the jungle as well. I think its gank, a little meh, but its objective clears pretty good, especially with the AoE from the passive. So that would be kind of fun. But we'll have to see what they actually are picking as we get underway into our draft. Game number 1, ID, OMG. ID still climbing, trying to get up into that top 2 spots. They still have a chance. Everyone has kind of one loss up there, so they can climb it. OMG still fighting for a chance to make the playoffs. Still early in the season, but they still, you got to jockey. You got to start jockeying right now for those positions. Yep. Having done that before in a league where my team started out strong and then collapsed afterwards. But we get the bans underway. The Yi gone, so at least one signature pick going to be out the way. The Brand, the Lilia. There's a lot of focus on jungle from OMG, and ID kind of spreading it out a bit.
Yeah, it's pretty surprising here. I mean, to see particularly Victor on the ban table. I think everything else is pretty standard. I mean, you have OMG banning out all those strong AP junglers. You don't really want to deal with all those fast farming champions, and then, Hui Mastery kind of specialty picks. Heimerdinger surprisingly getting taken off the table. Probably a support Heimerdinger that's been used for the side of Yarg. I'd assume no one's really playing this champion in any other role, but we're going to see the first pick, of course, Tristana, a staple of the meta. Really cannot complain at all to have this champion. It's either Tristana or Corki in almost every single game. I know luckily there should be nerfs coming to these champions in just a couple days, so maybe we'll finally be able to move away from this meta in just a couple days. But Jinx going to be the one that gets locked up here by Ketu, and we'll see what they end up actually pairing it on this R2 as well.
Yeah, they've got so we've got Udyr, we've got, I'm going to guess, a jungle pick going to be here, possibly also a AD carry as well. I don't think, like you said, that's Tristana AD carry. I'm pretty sure it's Tristana mid. The Rel coming out there. We have seen that flex already this season, so it could be a jungle. I think at this point, support is the better option, but it would be exciting to see. Still potential flex there.
Please don't play Rel jungle. That's all I'm saying. Like, they removed all the monster scaling. I think it's just terrible now. If you want to be like your team's like little pet, perfect. Then you can maybe play Rel still. You just walk around CZ bot. That's how it goes. But probably going to be just in that support category. And we're going to see Gwen as a pick immediately. Most likely to try and counter or at least dissuade maybe the Udyr from going top. You don't really want to play Gwen or Udyr into Gwen. So that pick could force the Udyr into the jungle, and we'll see if they end up flexing that, since that is still a possibility. But the other mid lane, power pick, Corki, gonna get locked in. No holds bar there. And Sivir, actually a surprising ban. I'm not gonna lie, I have not seen that champion much lately.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of Sivir either. I thought she is honestly pretty weak right now. So much of the meta has been around like heavy fights. I feel like you need someone with more DPS than Sivir, right? Especially with how I feel like her items aren't really as good as now. I guess is the better way to say it. Her items don't feel quite as good, and her scaling just doesn't feel comparable to say Jinx or Tristana right now, or Corki even. It's the Braum coming through here, probably going. So they're gonna save either their top or jungle. That Udyr could be flexed, so good use of that pick. The Aurelion coming out there. Could be Aurelion bot? Ooh,
no, it looks like it's probably Tristana flexed down to that bot lane. They're going to go for a kill lane here. Rel Tristana, kind of a classic, I'd say, at this point, of kill lanes for Tristana. There aren't that many combos, but we're going to see Volibear in the jungle, a champion that is not as well played, but still definitely finds some use, is particularly towards early game invading and diving with the help of that ultimate as well. And then Gnar is going to be the final lock-in here on the top side, so we're going to see some beefy boys in the jungle, and then obviously on that top side it's going to be ranged champion versus that Gwen, so that should be a nice point of pressure that OMG can look to play through if they do want to take it there. But besides that, it's going to be a lot of scaling across the map. I think the only real opening here is going to be in that top lane for the most part, since Braum does neutralize that Tristana Rel combo quite a bit.
Right. So we've got the draft sorted out. I don't know who do you think has the advantage here in terms of compositions for these two teams?
So from watching my time in watching Divinity these last couple weeks, the big theme that we've kind of landed on is whichever comp is easier to execute generally ends up winning. And in this game, I'd say the easier comp to execute is most likely ID's draft. Although they do have Gwen, which is quite a high-skill champion, I think having the reliability of a Volibear stun into a Rel crashdown is extremely good. And then also you get to fall back on that Aurelion Soul scaling. That is a lot easier to execute than Corki. I've seen a lot of teams struggle, in particular, with actually being able to utilize Corki as a primary damage dealer. In this case, at least they have the Jinx on top of that, but Jinx does require some setup. But a nice stun's going to come here on Wheela, so I'd give it to ID if I had to guess.
Okay, I think I would kind of agree with that as well. While I do think the Corki is strong, I'm not really sold on the Jinx right now. And I think Aurelion Tristana kind of outbeats Corki Jinx. I think Aurelion, if he gets scaled up, will become just too much of a menace for them to deal with. But also, they've got the Gwen, the monster in the top lane. Always a pain to deal with. So that'd be kind of exciting to see. As Wheela taking a lot of poke in this bottom side. The ID's bot lane might be in a little bit of a rough spot to start this out.
Yeah, and that's particularly bad, since this, at the end of the day, it is a kill lane. So getting such a big health disadvantage early on means that it's not going to get much easier from here for quite a while till they're able to even it up just a little bit. So fortunate for them, they're not going to have Udyr pathing towards that bot side, and they will have Caesar on this bot side quite soon as those camps do come down. So they might be able to at least turn around the play when Volibear does show up. But every other lane going to be pretty equal scaling / farming. Nothing really too exciting going to happen in those in particular, if I had to guess. So it'd be pretty chill.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty chill start. Like we were saying, a lot of scaling, not really a lot of early aggression I think we'll expect, though. There is a volley coming here as Yang goes right on. Goes right on in. Wheela trying to run away. They're chasing right onto him. Here comes Zark looking in for the blast and is going to take it up. First blood over to him. Going to trade it over to Wheela, though. And the Braum falling after a double kill for the Volibear.
Yeah, exactly. Prim and proper there. Nice standard immediate gank after that red buff, so going to be able to at least neutralize that early lead that OMG found themselves down there. So pretty well played here from ID. They end up with 1 kill advantage, and the wave is actually in a pretty good spot either way. They don't really have to worry about it too much. And Udyr just power farming, and that, while Udyr can't really gank as well as the Volibear, it's not as simple for me if I had to guess, just because, they both have a point and click stun, so it's a little bit of a weird point, but you don't have to worry about your camps as much as when you are playing Volibear as compared to when you are playing Udyr. So.
Yeah, and I think Volibear also does incredibly well when he gets a couple kills. Kind of reminds me of Hecarim in that regard, in that he kind of scales up really quickly once he gets a kill or two in his pocket. He hasn't backed yet off of it, so I don't know what he's going to get. Maybe just trying to get enough to get the Bammies for him. He's kind of hovering around just in case the Udyr comes on through. Oh, they're actually looking for Kidu again. Yard going on in. They all jump dogpiling in onto the Jinx, and Zark's going to pick it up and go on a killing spree already.
3-0 for the Volibear. You just said how effective these kills are, similar to a Hecarim, and if I hear a fed Hecarim, I get terrified. So far, this is great for the side of ID, and we'll see if they're able to actually snowball that just a little bit better. You're going to see Caulfields, Control Ward, Ruby Crystal, everything you really want to see here in that build, and just a nice acceleration here for that jungler. Considering, so much time was committed towards his bot side, it's just paid off.
Yeah, it's paid off immensely. He's going full bear with this build. It's going to be a very, very scary bear. This ain't no Winnie the Pooh. This is more like Cocaine Bear. Ever seen that movie?
I've heard legends of it, so I'll give a shout out over to Smokey the Bear. I think that's a pretty notable bear there in the bear category. So that'll be my shout out there. And everywhere else on the map's just gonna be chilling because there really is just no CC on any of these champions. It's kind of funny. So kill threat's just less.
Yeah, that I think about it, OMG really is lacking in the CC. Unless they had they have either single target or kind of ultimate based CC. So I'm not sure if it's great as Yarg is coming in for midnight. Gonna force the flash out of him, and now on the top side, Gwen's taking a lot from Flame right there.
Yeah, pretty well played so far for ID, and I think
Gwen's gotta be. Yeah, gotta be careful. Flame might take this fight. The chops go through, but not enough. The Gnar is gonna pick up that kill. Meanwhile, Yarg is coming back down bottom. I see Zark kind of prepping for it. I think he's looking for another gank opportunity. But will he find it? No, he's just gonna go for the dragon.
Yeah, they're gonna claim up this dragon. Udyr also on that Grubs to trade it over. So Gwen's getting a little bit too far forward. Did not end up committing flash at all. But, it is Gwen pre 2 items. It is expected that she probably will die at some point. So as long as it doesn't snowball too much further, it should be totally fine. Gnar going to grab up the Merc Treads in the meantime. So should be even harder to actually go down. So more of a neutralizing purchase here. Whereas the Gwen just needs to get to that 2 items as quickly as possible. And then, but it looks like Udyr is in the area. If Gwen shows up, they might actually end up snapping the trigger on this gank.
I think so. Gwen's just gonna definitely need to wait, but I don't know if she knows the Udyr's there. No, there was no word there. But perfect timing on that back, almost like psychic. That was a perfectly timed walk out of that bush. Sweal is gonna try to get some of these turret plates down, and it is looking like Flame. I'm gonna try to trade back. So I think right now a lot of the onus is on OMG to try to get the Gnar. Oh, actually, hang on. I have to wait on that. Zark has been found out, trying to get out, but is gonna get shut down. Sourcewalker gonna pick up that kill. Now the Udyr is on the hunt. He smells metal horse blood. I don't know whether to be oil. Anyways, Yard trying to get out. Oh no, can't make it over the wall. Trying to run away. He's getting stunned up, run down, and gunned down. Gadu's gonna pick up that kill. 2 for OMG.
Yeah, and there's a bit of that early game, camping towards bot actually paying towards the side of OMG there, where, Sourcewalker was actually level 6 while Caesark was still level 5. There's no easy way to get out of that play without committing flash or ultimate, so it means it's gonna go down there, and nice rotation there from the bot lane of OMG.
Yeah, I think Zark just got a little bit too confident. You are 3-1 bear, but you are still not at a full item yet, so can't really take 1v3. We're still too early in the game for that, and it's going to cost ID a little bit, as now he's onto the little raptors over here, and Sourcewalker walks right into that and taking quite a bit of damage there. Zark might not be able to 1v3, but a 1v1 should be pretty easy for this bear.
Yeah, and that's kind of how these comps do want to work. Whoever engages first probably will have a better time throughout this entire game. I mean, you think of like Rel Crash Down is going to make it hard for Gnar to engage. If Gnar engages, then that, I mean, really, OMG's comp does come down to a lot of how Gnar will play. So Flame, a lot of onus is on there. Obviously named after one of the goats of top lane. So we'll see if channels that inner strength there and actually pulls it off. But right now, there's a lot of pressure towards Midnight here. No flash, remember that.
Yeah, gotta be extra careful. Does have the dash to get out of there, but if it gets stunned up, could be bad. Braum has come on up to alleviate a little bit of that pressure. Meanwhile, AD Carry is gonna just chill in the bottom lane together. Zark also hanging around here. It's support, mid, and jungle all around. Coming up down here is Gwenge taking a worse end of a trade here from Flame. Flame trying to run him down, stuns him up. Source Walker's in the area too, but so is Zark. These fights, it feels like any fight that breaks down out could turn on its head. Source Walker, though, taking a lot of damage from Zark. Flame has not rotated down yet. The bear goes full bear. He's looking for it. Flame is here. Yarg is here. Gwenge is here. Everyone is here. And now they're jumping right in on the Braum. Gets the ult, gets the flash, trying to get out of there. And they're chasing him down. Midnight on the flank, though, hunting down onto Zark. Zark forced a flash. The rocket from Jinx goes wide. The ultimate from Aurelion barely hits. Flame's going to pick up Zark, but they're going to lose the Udyr in the process. Braum about to fall as well. Actually, Aurelion going to go first. Braum will fall after, followed by Aurel. And that's a double kill over to Midnight. 3 for 2 in favor of OMG.
Yeah, and ID had such a big lead on early game, and now you're looking at the gold lead, and you're scratching your head. 1.5K gold up now for OMG, and a huge skirmish win. Gwen really bad at fighting without that ultimate early on, so as soon as that got burned, the fight was pretty much sealed for the side of OMG. So pretty well played usage of cooldowns here. Gwen wants this farm really bad, gets stunned up.
Oh yeah, getting stunned up. Flame gonna go on a killing spree, but will die in the process. 14th reason with a beautiful teleport. They're going for the grubs now. Source Walker trying to rock this out, but is gonna go down. A double kill going over to 14th reason. Midnight on the run, trying to get away. Zark's looking for him. He gets the flash down again. And Midnight's gonna walk on away a little bit slow on that teleport. They did get 4 grubs, but they're not gonna be able to get all 6. 2 of them are gonna go over to ID.
They still do get that 1 grub spawn per wave, so that's still at least something that they do get to go away with. But, you know, pretty tough play here. It's hard to watch. I'm not gonna lie. I think of these comps. I think, okay, we're gonna scale up. We're gonna make sure we get this farm. And there's been only skirmishing, and I feel like I'm cursed at this point, considering how yesterday went.
I warned you. Wheela trying to run away, but is gonna get stunned up, gonna get rooted, and is gonna get taken down. Kido gonna pick up that kill. 3 people in the bottom lane. Ping's going down. They're looking for this dragon over here. They want the Chem Drake. I think ID is just going to let that one go. They are kind of hovering in the area. Maybe they'll look for a steal, but it is just a single Chem Drake. It's probably not the most important thing to go after, especially when you're already down a couple kills, and they're just going to give it up. OMG going to pick it up pretty cleanly.
Yeah, I mean, so far, been pretty good play from OMG, you know, despite how the game has, you know, transpired in the early game. So, and I think a lot of that is just how consistently Midnight's been roaming to actually join these plays. 14 Dreethan only joining that last fight in particular, and Flame also doing very well to neutralize this Gwen early on before the 2 items comes through, since that champ does not exist until 2 items for the most part.
Doing great on that. You see him dodge all of those ultimate shots coming through, but will he be able to dodge this? Trying to get away from the Aurelion, the ult coming through. The skies descend, and they crash on down. Gwen's gonna pick up that kill onto Flame, and that's gonna help him get right back into this. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Wheela just chipping away at this turret, picking up as much gold as Triss can. But Source Walker is here. Yarg has to run away. This time has flash, but will they be able to get out this time? They do flash the Braum ultimate. They are still hunting. Jost's gonna land the Q, but it's not gonna be enough. And Yarg's gonna get out with their life.
Yeah, what a close game so far. I mean, taking a lot of poke there. Just baiting in Midnight just a little bit. Maybe they might be able to get a kill here.
Looking for Midnight. Here comes Source Walker too. Zark trying to run away. 14th reason is too low though to really assist. Source Walker gonna stun him up. The bear is gonna get out fine.
Rocket
Not
maybe. Gonna land.
There. Nope. Miss.
Just gonna walk it off, and Zark and Yarg looking again towards mid. Braum's still in the area. They're gonna go on him.
Yeah, they're going to land right on him, going to send him airborne, stun him up, trying to get out of there, trying to get to his teammate so he can jump. He is, but the ult's going to come through. Zark going to pick up the first kill of this fight. Braum going down. Now they're trying to stun up Source Walker. He's going to go down too. A double kill for him, but Midnight will get the trade back. And I guess go on a... Oh, he didn't die. I don't know why I thought he died in that fight. I was confused. I was like, how did he go on a killing spree? He was dead. That's the Braum. But here comes Flame on the side here. 14th Reason trying to run. Yarg trying to get out too. Trying to escape. The Gnarl just barely misses.
Yeah, and now gold. Hey, gold is even. So this is just, you know, sparks are flying right now. They're really 10 to 10 as well. One drag apiece. Only real advantage going towards that grubs, of course, and a bit of plating in the bot side is going to even up that gold. So, I mean, overall, it's just two teams that are at this point evenly matched, I'd say. Obviously, there is a bit of a scaling advantage towards that Gwen or Ace Tristana. So maybe OMG wants to find themselves with a bit more of a gold lead, but considering how they've been playing, they might be able to just, you know, neutralize that nonetheless. But they're going to go into Source Walker. They can't make up their mind.
Yeah, they're kind of caught up here, but they're instead going to look for Joss. Gwenge getting the ultimate down. Source Walker coming on through, but Gwenge is now separated. Zark and Yarg trying to stop Source Walker. Gwenge trying to get some damage, and the teleports are coming through. The rocket comes through from the Jinx. Gwenge getting solo. The ult will land. Flame will take out Gwenge. The bear will fall too. 14th Reason will pick up one kill, but everyone is dying on the side of ID. They're getting stunned up and they're going down. Midnight picks up a triple kill.
Why are we fighting? I just don't get it. We just want to face roll. We don't have our strong Tristana on this bot side. I mean, Jinx obviously getting the Kraken Slayer early, but you still want that 80 carry in these fights. At least going to be able to trade over a turret, but this is affording OMG some time alone with the top and mid lane turrets. Probably going to be able to take down both of them, and that's a lot of standing gold going right into the pockets of OMG. Should allow them to extend this lead straight into that mid game here, and it's going to be kind of difficult.
Yeah, well, welcome to the Vanquisher League. This is a pretty normal Vanquisher League game, if I do say so. I can already hear I can hear Sater's screams from across the pond.
I mean, hey, it seems like this is at least action-packed. I can say with confidence that some of the early games in Divinity are not this action-packed at all. So they're actually going to walk forward into this jungle. They're going to take away this blue buff at least. Wheeler in a kind of bad spot, but just going to be able to rocket jump right out of there and, you know, stave off a bit of action for a little bit. But it looks like they might collapse on Gnar as soon as he shows. So see if that happens, but drag is coming up in exactly 30 seconds, so they are establishing quite the presence towards this side, and Corki has no TP on that top side, so that's going to be one player down no matter what here for OMG.
Yeah, they really need to come up now. Flame has been caught by 14th, and the reasons are stacking for why he's going to die. First, it's a bear dunking forward. Now it's a dragon. Everyone's just chasing him down. Everyone's running, and Flame is trying to get out. Zark picks up one. The Herald's going to drop mid. Flame going to get the stun, trying to just buy as much time as he can, but he will fall. The turret, though, will drop in the mid lane. Now Yarg trying to run away from the Udyr, from the Braum. The teleport coming in from 14th Reason. Zark is here. He doesn't have ultimate, though. They've got to be careful. The skies will descend in their weaker form. Yarg going to go in with the ultimate. Gwenge is here. Wheel is here. They're dealing some good damage. Braum trying to buy some space, but is going to get shredded. 14th Reason going to pick up that kill. Gwenge is throwing ults. Hits everyone with it. And ID, they are kind of low. They are going to have to be careful here. Don't want to give Jinx the reset. Don't want to allow Udyr to just shred them all to pieces. And everyone backs away from this Cloud Drake, but the fight, the Vanquisher, and Vanquisher stands for the is a representation of the amount of bloodshed that happens in these games. I don't think I've cast a game in this league yet that has less than a kill a minute. Speaking of which, Wheela looking to die right here, having a flash on the wall, trying to jump out, is going to escape, but will die. Gwenge will fall as well, as will Zark, but they will pick up the dragon. A double kill over to Source Walker.
Yeah, and the gold lead just keeps ballooning here for OMG. They may have lost the dragon and that fight initially, but with all those kills going back, now the Corki and the Jinx are fully online. 2-item Corki is everything you want to see. Obviously not fully spiked. 3 is really where Corki is the strongest, but Kedu is a bit stronger than Tristana at this point. As soon as they do back, I mean, Yeah, it's looking tough here for ID, and they need to just survive. At least they have the A-Soul wave clear that they can rely on for the rest of the game, so that'll be the real big sticking point here for ID.
Yeah, and I think that was a weird fit around the dragon. It was kind of odd that Wheela just kind of stood in the Jinx traps.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna comment on that. You know, it's hard to see it. You know, you're autoing the dragon. I totally get it. That's Cope, by the way.
No. This stream brought to you by Copium.
Exactly. Yep. But you know, they could still win the game, so it's fine. It's just a minor error at this point.
Yeah. I mean, they got the dragon. That's the most important part of the whole process. They got 2 dragons. That's one more than OMG. That's a win they can take.
Exactly. I mean, they're sitting at 4-1 in the standings, so you know they have this record of 8-3, which means they have gone to game 3 out of those 5 games. So, you know, maybe they're a bit sloppy on the edges, but they've made it, you know, happen nonetheless throughout these games. So we'll have to see if that persists in this game.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's nice to be able to rely on an Aurelion Soul like that. That is the comfort that you are provided when you have such a weak early game champion.
And I mean, Aurelion is just incredibly powerful. Speaking of powerful, Zark, while powerful, is still dealing with some pretty beefy front line right now between Sourcewalker and Braum. The Braum running, of course, the ever wonderful Warmogs, and the fight is going to break out. Sourcewalker going to be found. Yarg trying to run away, getting blasted at, but slowed. Zark going to try to buy some space. Wheela trying to get some damage in there. Getting super low, though. Zark trying to ult, has to get out. The skies descend, though. Flame is on the back line, but the rest of OMG looking a little dicey. Flame, though, he ults. He's looking for the opportunity. He's got the flash. He will not throw them in with the full Gnar.
Yeah, I think ID blowing the load there a little bit too early. I think they could have played it a little bit slower, and then putting the skies as then just when they're a little bit further forward, where Tristana still has cooldown, since at that point Tristana had nothing. You know, Bomb and Q committed that point, didn't really have enough in the tank to actually burst through. And if you get one reset on A-Soul, suddenly the fight changes, and we could have seen a completely different game where ID has Baron right now, since that fight was so winning for them.
Yeah, now OMG gonna start up the Baron. Sourcewalker gonna pick it up now. The Braum, he's got the Warmogs. But they've got to be careful. They are still pretty squishy, despite how much health they seem to have. And ID seems to have scattered them out. Might be a bit too late, though. Yard goes on in, and the steal from Zark takes the Baron. Yard going to go down, though, on the back of that fight. The rest of ID trying to get out a double kill over to Midnight. The OMG is low, but so is ID. ID trying to run the shutdown from Wheela on to Midnight. And now the rest of the team is on the run. OMG trying to catch as many as they can, but they're not going to find anyone else. Fantastic play from ID.
Yeah, Zark able to get that Baron. Huge steal. You know, I was talking about how it could have been a different world and they get the Baron, but they still get the Baron anyway. So I guess I'm the fool in this scenario. So, you know, pretty impressive stuff there from ID, and this should at least neutralize that gold lead that is standing here for OMG. Let's see if they're able to actually find any fights before this drag does come up. 50 seconds left. You know, they are getting dangerously close to the Soul at this point, so OMG needs to make sure that they do get some vision towards that area. Braum, nowhere to be found for these wards, so they might be able to sneak in, but looks like they're kind of putting focus towards the top side, which is a bit curious, but they need to get this mid lane turret to kind of even up the map positioning.
I mean, Aurelion does have teleport, so he'll at least be able to join in with his team if need be. Keep the pressure going on the top, so maybe able to draw someone up there. Flame and Midnight, though, are just chilling around the bot side. They don't want to call all this bluff. They might lose a turret. I mean, that gold would be good for ID, as Gwenj has been found. Flame trying to chase him down, but Gwenj trying to maybe pick up Midnight before he goes, and he's going to get the shutdown there. Gets the flash over the wall and is going to walk on out. Beautiful. And the turret goes on top. They win across the map right now. Now it's 5v4. Could leave it at 4v4 if they want to just keep this Aurelion pushing, which it looks like they're going to do. I'm even going to go for this dragon right now. Turret in mid also going to fall. The Baron buff so powerful in that push. And now Flame and Gwenj going at it. Flame has had it in the past in this fight, but Gwenge is looking really scary. Gwenge, though, getting low. The teleport coming through. The 14th reason is here. Flame trying to run, getting slowed to oblivion. The ult, though, from the Gnar coming through, and Gwenge is going to pick up that kill. And now OMG is on the run. The teleport coming through from Midnight. They're maybe trying to pick something up. Zark getting low. Yarg going in with the ultimate. Source gonna go down, and Yarg will fall with it. Kitu gonna pick up that go on a killing spree. Gwench here, though, in the back, though, looking for the Braum, and is gonna find him. Goes on a killing spree. 14th reason going over the wall on the hunt. Midnight on the run, trying to get away. OMG scrambling for the hills, but it's not enough. Wheela gonna pick up that kill. Wheela going forward, looking for Kedu, and is gonna pick that up. It's actually gonna go to Gwench, sorry, and it's an ace for ID.
Yeah, and this really all just stems from that Corki going down so early. I mean, you really don't have the positioning to actually find these fights when your mid laner is down immediately. So a big blunder there from Midnight's gonna afford ID everything they really want on this map. So pretty impressive stuff here, and they picked up the pieces, and now they find themselves 2k gold up. Pretty impressive indeed. I mean, Asol looking powerful. Tristana's there. We got the 2-item Gwen online. Everything's really working out here in ID's favor, and OMG needs to now find those surprise fights. But we talked about how hard these engages are going to be. It really does come down to Flame or Source Walker just walking straight in and finding an engage. Maybe a tricky flank should be their best option here, especially considering it is Gnar. So it's not gonna be easy, but there is still some window of engage here that they could play towards.
Yeah, and it's like you said, that's because they don't have the CC really. It's too easy of it's too direct needing CC. Like, it's very melee based. I think the farthest ranging CC they have is the Braum ultimate, and they really need to use it as a disengage tool in case Zark and Gwenge get back onto Kedu or Midnight. This is they have to wait for ID, I feel, to engage onto them if they really want to take this, and a pause will come through. We're waiting to figure out what is going on there. But yeah, there's it's hard. Like, it feels like OMG has to play on the back foot in these fights, but if they play on the back foot, it's too easy for ID to really take it. They can't push the issue. They can push forward. They've got the ability to play a running down fight. And OMG, I think their best option is to flank from Flame, but he's not been able to get into position yet.
Yeah, they haven't really put any deep wards too, so it's not giving him any favors. So you gotta, if you want to find the flank, it needs to be a team effort for the most part. Pick where the fight is, and pick where the deep ward is. You gotta coordinate that kind of stuff, and that's a hard thing to do. But we're gonna see a bit of a replay here on the bot side here. This is right after Corki did go way too overconfident and get taken down, and then Flame goes down right afterwards. I mean, this is pretty much as disastrous as it gets. And of course, Azul gets to reset on W here, joins the fight. Nice slam down there. Good stun by Yang to actually find Source Walker. Goes back in for the stun to at least put some damage into Zark, but that bear is huge. And then the crash down comes down, finds all three. Gonna immediately eliminate Source Walker. Yarg may go down. The reset for Jinx does come through, but Gwenge on a nice TP with 2 items. Just gonna clean up the pieces here onto Joust and really turned the game fully after that Baron steal. And what a Baron steal it was, since it just shifted momentum so much.
Yeah, and we also got to look at how OMG wasn't really keeping track of the teleports there. They let Gwenge get all that time to back during that fight. She had no health, gets all the way back to full, and then teleports behind them, knowing, hey, I'm full health, I'm Gwen, I don't have to worry about their damage, they're not going to be able to kill me. And just it taking too long in that, as we do see the game has resumed again. ID up 2k. That soul point, 3.5 minutes now. They could get the Cloud Soul. Would be a really big soul for them. They let them run down everybody on the side of OMG. OMG, though, still not out of it yet. They still have the chance as Gwenge drops the ult, trying to push Flame off the objective. It is on the 2-item spikes. This is the power point for Gwen.
Yeah, at this point, I'd want to see some sort of, you push someone in a side lane, such as Flame, and then you shadow with an Udyr, something like that. Like a play that is that coordinated, so you're actually able to find something, because right now Gwen just kind of unanswered, since those items did come through, and now has, I'd say, officially outscaled based just off how these champions work, where Gnar is extremely powerful towards that early to mid game, while Gwen mid to late, of course. So you're really going to need some help, and I think just with Source Walker alone, it should be enough to take him down, especially with that Leontries in the pocket of Udyr.
Yeah, I think the Udyr and the Gwen combined are already a mass threat. Then you've got the Aurelion. Then you've got the Tristana. This is hard. This is a very hard position to be in. Though this Jinx is almost on to 3 items. That's a pretty big spike for Jinx. Getting that IE with the Kraken, with the Runans, could be the deciding factor in these fights. I think that's something they really need to look for. Meanwhile, Corki, he's at that point where he kind of like falters a little bit until he hits the late game. Like, he really needs to get that IE on to get that extra damage coming through. Maybe the Bloodthirster. Zark getting chased down by Source, and Gwenge is here though. Teleport's coming through behind him. Yard going forward, looking for it, but they've left their backline behind. Kidu trying to run. Gwenge gonna though pick up the kill, going unstoppable. Meanwhile, Flame trying to run for the hills on the side. Gwenge trying to get out, getting low, but won't matter. Will escape. They're gonna pick up the Udyr. Flame trying to run away. Zark just gonna eat that Gnar for breakfast, like a single chew. And that's 3-0 for ID. Baron is up. They're making the call. They pull the trigger, and they're going to get heavily rewarded for this.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's so much easier for ID to play the game. They don't have to do any tricky poking or chunking someone down immediately. They could just face roll the keyboard, find the stuns, and then eventually they do actually take down Ketu. And that is the biggest power point on your team. And with no Jinx, there's just going to be no team fight either. So very well played here from ID, and they've officially outscaled, so it's pretty comfortable to say the only way OMG gets back in this game is a big mistake here from ID, and they need to be in position to actually be able to catch that mistake, and that really is where it lies at this point.
I think Josh needs to also spend more time with Ketu. We're going to watch the replay of this fight.
Yeah, not going to find too much. Just immediately gets flashed on by Ketu with the help of the giant Skies Descend, actually putting on a bit more damage, and they can't even get the reset here on a Midnight, or not Midnight, sorry. Just they couldn't get the reset here before Ketu does go down, so it just meant so much difficulty here for OMG, and now Joss walking very far forward, probably just going to get taken down. Wheela. Yeah, just auto over the wall, gonna take down that Braum, and that's your support down. And now the protection that you were asking for Ketu is just already gone, and maybe they could force down this bot lane turret with the help of this Baron. 1 minute 50 still on that timer.
Yeah, and top, it's a 1-3. It's a 1-1-3 right now. You've got 3 people in the bot lane. Not a lot of their poke. They're just kind of holding the rest of OMG here. Wheela though has kind of rotated down. Aurelion gonna push the top, gonna get that turret. And Flame finds the ultimate right onto Wheela. Wheela gonna go down immediately. The rest of ID has been found. This may be the fight they were looking for. The Gnar will fall. Yard gonna fall. Ketu has picked up a kill, and it's 1 for 2 in favor of OMG. OMG manages to stop the push with a beautiful pick by Flame.
Yeah, very well played there from Flame. Finds the opening on to Wheela, and it seemed like this is a common trend. Wheela so far been getting caught out in a lot of these fights that OMG's able to win, and they're looking for a bit more. Walking straight into 8 Soul's not what you want to do.
No, Source Walker trying to get that damage in, but Gwenge is here. Zark looking for the fight too. Kidu getting low, gonna get picked up. Gwenge goes godlike. Zark on the hunt for Source Walker. Will he get it? No, he will not. Gwenge is gonna pick up a double kill, and now the Aurelion on the hunt, getting people low, trying to burn everyone down. Picks up 1, may pick up a second. No, is reset. Not. Oh, still is the reset. Has the potential on the hunt. The slows, the burn, the double kill to Aurelion Soul.
Yeah, that's Aurelion Soul, all right. Just getting those resets, able to actually find the kills. Yeah, really entertaining. You know, yesterday we had a conversation on how broken Brand is, and then I'm just thinking, like, which is worse, Aesol or Brand? But yesterday, you know, today's a different day, and we're just seeing Aesol since Brand is on that ban table. So pretty entertaining stuff. They don't need an 80 carry, it seems. They're just going to make it through with that Gwen and that Aesol. Going for another engage.
Yeah, Flame misses the ult right there, and it's going to knock back up Zark. Zark trying to get out, but it will fall. Wheela now on the run. Yarg as well. They're going to slow up Wheela, though. Wheela going to get stunned. Wheela going to get knocked out. Zark gonna go. The skies will descend though. Yard looking for the ultimate. 1 kill, 2 kill. Can it be a triple kill? It will be the triple for the 14th reason. And is that his 14th kill actually? I'd have to see. the stats when those come back up. But this might be the game for ID. They've managed to pick it up. Nope, 12 kills. They've got to get these last two. Get the penta for the 14th.
Yeah, if they want to get this, they will need to get that penta. But, you know, either way, you're saying Wheela kind of uncharacteristically dying pretty often with that flash still up, so I'd like to see some adaptation there. But 14th Reason is picking up the pieces, finding everything you could ever really ask for in an A-Soul in late game, so they're going to take this bot lane turret. They're not able to get the inhib, so no two super minion wave shenanigans to push for an end. They're just going to play it safe. They're going to go back. We got 2 minutes till that next Baron. And yeah, it's as I said before, it's not going to get any easier for OMG. And now they find themselves 11k gold down. So
yeah, and they've lost the soul. That's going to make that much. Whereas imagine Gwen ulting and just chasing you down. Yarg 2, Zark. They're just going to get run down every fight. Kidu is basically a walking bag of gold at this point for the side of OMG. ID just kind of going to put the finishing touches, cross their T's, dot their I's, and make sure that they have everything in order. They don't leave any openings for OMG to get back into this game. But I think this is all but over in one fight. Unless OMG can find another play, unless Flame can get another beautiful ultimate that could set them up for a win. But it's going to be hard as they get further and further into their base.
yeah,
And yeah.
Yeah, I mean they should be able to at least get this, and they should be able to get this Baron. They can do whatever they want. Tristana does afford them the side lane that they could actually look towards, and you know, just really split apart the map since A-Soul's not that great at that. But they're gonna look for mid.
Yeah, they are. Zark gonna find it. The skies will descend again. Zark getting super low. Is he gonna go down though? He will not. Source Walker gonna fall. Wheela picking that up, picking up the Braum, picking up the Jinx with a triple kill. Flame on the run, but they're running down the Gnar. The Bear Cop is on the loose. They're looking for Flame. Wheela trying to pick up a Quadra, but it's not gonna be. Gwen's gonna go legendary, taking down the lane opponent. 1v5. It's up to Midnight to hold the line. The clock is going to strike midnight, though, for his team as the rest of ID piles into the base. They're looking to end this game. They're looking to take Midnight, and he will go down. It's going to be an ace over to 14th Reason. An ace for ID and a victory in game number 1.
A bit of a rough early game is going to translate to a pretty clean ending nonetheless here for the side of ID, and they're kind of showing why they are sitting 4-1 in the Vanquisher League. So pretty impressive stuff. I think 14th Reason, obviously you can see highest damage on the table. No surprises there. Really did a lot of work when it comes to that, and then on top of that, you had the consistency of Zark to actually be able to get these engages extremely cleanly, and nice layering on the CC from Yarg. So I think overall pretty well played. Gwen also finding some nice angles towards those end game fights. Really did seal the deal there. And scaling advantage and ease of use is going to be the name of the game. And right there you saw how that works out. ID going to take it over OMG in that game 1.
Yeah, just big scaling difference coming out from the side of ID. The power of the Aurelion. Look at that damage. Just like, honestly, I'm actually impressed Kidu got that much out considering how often he just got basically yeeted from the fight. But good play there. We'll have to see if ID can close this out 2-0 or if OMG will manage to make the comeback and start climbing up these ranks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be going to game number 2 right after this short break.
I see you looking at me, looking at you. Hold up, where you going? What you doing? Who you seeing? What you need? What you want? I said, without you by my side, my side, my side. Without you by my side. One time from side to side. Without you by my side, I can't go outside. Without you by my side, I can't go outside. Without you by my side, I can't go outside. One time from side to side.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Vanquisher League. Game number 2. We just watched ID and OMG take a very, very bloody game against each other, but ID came out on top in the end. I'm Raptor, joined again by Golden Gad. And what are draft adaptions are you hoping to see in this game?
So there's this champion called Asol that possibly should be banned. Just a thought, maybe. I don't know. You know, just thinking about it. Maybe that's one that I'd immediately throw up on that ban table. And if you're gonna afford Tristana yet again here from the side of OMG, maybe have something a little bit more aggressive, or you know, particularly for OMG, I think an easier to execute comp with a bit more easy to execute CC or a good setup lane, because they didn't really have any good lanes that they could just set up ganks on, which could make it a bit easier. So just somewhere where it's easy to execute, where you can either snowball a lead from or something like that. But they at least brought it back in those skirmishes in the early game, which I'd say ID kind of just handshook them on. And if the other team handshakes you on these fights that are not winning, you should be able to snowball off of those, and you know, if ID does a similar draft, maybe you'll be able to find a bigger lead and then, you know, snowball it from there. So I think with a bit more urgency slash ease of use, I think OMG could actually have taken that last game. But with the draft they actually selected, it was a little bit difficult. So we'll see, you know, what game 2 has in store for us.
Yeah, hopefully they improve their draft. Hopefully they've been using our wonderful sponsor of this league. You know them, you love them. It's ProComps. ProComps is the #1 software for making sure that your draft is perfect. They give you everything from live tactics while drafting, let you create your own tier list, help you get recommendations on what to pick and ban based on your opponent's comp, even rune recommendations and item builds. It's all there all the time. Check it out, procomps.gg. And thank you once again for sponsoring us as we see our last game draft coming up here. And
yeah,
I wonder if we're going to see any ban changes in the first half. Like I'm assuming the Aurelion, but anything else you think might come through?
I mean, I've seen Heimerdinger is in the match, kind of champ pool of Yarg. So I don't know if you can just drop the Heimerdinger. If I'm gonna drop any champion, might be Lilia. Not exactly the strongest AP carry, still extremely powerful as far as clear speed and stuff like that, but that could be something you do end up dropping in favor of that Asol. And it's also important to note for ProComps as well that they predicted as well that ID was going to win, and guess what? They won. So, you know, maybe that's a good sign to actually go and try that software out, of course. But besides that, I think ID has a pretty good idea. You know, Master Yi, Victor, and Hui are not exactly the bans I'd think of going in, but it seems to have worked quite well for them anyways. They still get the Tristana on B1. I'm curious if there's any switching of sides. If there's not, then that'll probably be a consistent thing, since it means that they most likely can flex that towards mid or bot depending on the game. So we'll see what ends up happening in this one.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see more Tristana and Corki. I think everyone's just agreed to handshake these champions right now. No matter what you do to Corki, he just keeps going back to the mid lane. So we get underway into the draft. Game number 2. Let's see what's on the board. ID and OMG have not switched sides, so they will be on the same sides as last time. Might see some of the same ban sway. Already one similar ban coming through. Will OMG adapt? What will they bring?
Definitely, they're still going to keep the ban on the Lilia. They do not want to play against that champion. I guess they favor not having to deal with not drafting any tanks, because that's kind of what Lilia requires. You just go away from those melee champions, since that is what Lilia is so strong against. Mastery, no surprises there, also getting taken away since Sourcewalker is proficient on that champion. Brand seems like it's going to be the same 3 champions possibly, and maybe they go for something a little bit more aggressive in mid towards that early game. Instead of the Corki, maybe they could find that as an answer to that A-Soul. That could be what they opt for. I think it's still a good plan there, but no changes in the bans here for ID. And no, as I say that, A-Soul's going to go away, which leaves one champion open, and that's going to be the...
I think it's Heimerdinger. Yeah, Heimerdinger.
Heimerdinger, yes. So that actually opens it up for Yark to actually pick that immediately. But they're going to just stick to the tried and true Tristana every single time. Going to get locked in on that B1.
Yeah, it's just too powerful. Mobility, 80 damage, 80 champions being strong lets you pick the AP junglers. It's just such a powerful tool. Meanwhile, the Jack's going to come out for the side of OMG. Probably going to be up on the top side. It could be flexed, honestly. We could see that flex towards the jungle. It's been a while since I've seen a jungle Jax, but I wouldn't be surprised. Ezreal going to come out here for the 80 carry side. ID. Will this be another Tristana 80 carry, or will it be Tristana mid? So many Tristana options, so little time.
Yeah, at least Ezreal a bit more consistent into that Tristana, but they're actually going to take away the Udyr here. They don't want that paired up with that Jax for a double flex potential, and depending on how the matchup goes, so just going to grab that up immediately. And, you know, Jax is a champion that is quite strong into, you know, most top laners. I don't think there's many that he does struggle against. Of course, he's not a premier pick in the meta at all, but never really falls off at all. But we're just going to see Tristana Rel yet again, which indicates heavily to me that they're just going to go for that in that bot side yet again. No changes there. I don't think they feel too threatened by that Ezreal Leona lane, so it should be just more of the same. And we'll see what they end up picking in mid, since, you know, Corki's still up, but that's probably going to go R1, R4 if they do end up picking that. But Fiora is going to be a quick ban onto that Jax, of course. Very telegraphed on the stun, so you are able to at least get away from that, and then the Jinx is going to get banned away. Potentially against that Ezreal flex that could go into the mid lane, which I haven't really considered as much, since I don't really believe in that champion as much in the mid lane. Personally, that is an opinion. Gwen going to get banned away as well, so we'll see Kai'Sa also get taken out.
Yeah, I guess they think this is an Ezreal mid. I mean, we've seen it in the LCS in a couple games, and I'm not a big fan of it. I don't think it's that great. I think Ezreal does much better in the bottom lane, and you picking a mage in the mid, it's going to be the Taliyah. So assuming that's going to be Taliyah jungle, Jack's top, but it could be a flex. I mean, there's so much flex potential here for the side of OMG. Talon!
Yeah, that's the highest mastery for 14th reason, so just going to lock that in. Talon, they want to make sure that you can't pick any of these scaling champions. Corki, A-Soul immediately off the table when you do pick something like the Talon. You do not want to be playing those champs into Talon. So I'm going to lock it in and then immediately slam the Rumble. Since you do have that 80 mid, you want a bit more AP somewhere else on the map, since Tristana will be in that bot side. So you really have to slam it. And then it's just going to be Aatrox on the top. Lane looks like Taliyah in the mid lane and Jax in the jungle, from what I can tell. So that's a pretty interesting triple flex there for the OMG squad there. And yeah, I mean, this is quite the aggressive draft. We'll see who ends up taking it. I mean, Aatrox is traditionally quite good into Rumbles. They play around the same angle, but as I say that, I see where the champs are now locked into, and it's going to be that Rumble in the jungle instead. Udyr just going to be able to survive in the top lane against Aatrox. I'm getting confused at this point. They could have sent Taliyah bot for all I know.
Yeah, it's kind of a very flexed comp. I'm not sure how I've settled on it. Yes, it's very damage heavy. Yes, it's something that can kind of snowball, but I just feel like it's going to struggle into this, especially with the Rumble. Rumble is so good when it comes to melee champions, because you just walk right into his fire and you can't really get out of there, as we're already a minute into the game. Vila are taking a bit of poke, and Yarg trying to body block for him. But game number 2, it's underway. It's all great. And once again, thank you to ProComps for bringing us these draft changes in game number 2. And friend or foe for the design of the graphics, Thank you, Mr. Chris Sunga and Julian. I don't know how to say Julian's last name, but
Osant. No, just kidding. Sorry, that was so Western. Probably some sort of accent there. I got no idea. But anyways, at least I do see one thing that is encouraging. You see the cleanse immediately onto Wheela, which means the pick potential for OMG is going to be a lot harder to execute on to Tristana this game. Considering how it went last game, it's just going to be much more difficult. Yarg in the bush. So you don't want to see any shenanigans level 1 like last time. You don't want to be on that back foot, but it looks like a similar pathing is going to occur here for Zark. Nonetheless, Sourcewalker also going to be mirroring that pathing, so they might find some big action on that bot side. Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit concerned here for OMG's comp at a certain point, considering Rumble and Nudier are just generally champs that do well towards these mid-game skirmishes. Yeah.
It's Gwenge looking now to take a fight with Flame. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, Yarg looking for Kedu, but Wheela not really here to help deal that fight. And Midnight already had to burn that flash mid, already close to dying. And actually, all the sums burned in the mid lane. So, could be careful, though. Wheela, Midnight is staying. Got to be careful with that Talon. He could just jump you at any time. Yarg's going to get the stun. A lot of already dueling, a lot of trading, though. Jost is going back in Wheela looking for Kedu. Jarg going to go back, but is going to fall. First Blood going to go over to Kedu. But can he get the second? He will. A double kill for the Ezreal.
Yeah, a disaster. I just talked about how hard this lane's been. But 14 Wreath in the bush for Sourcewalker. Counter-Strike comes down. The flash goes forward.
Descent is not enough to dash and jump around. Sourcewalker is going to pick up that kill. 3 kills start this off. OMG is in a much stronger starting position this game.
Yeah, a lot better. They don't have to deal with that Volley Bear level 3 gank immediately. And, you know, a little bit brazen here from 14th Reason. Did not have Ignite or Flash. So bursting 100 to 0. Level 3 on Talon is a little bit more difficult without the Ignite. So not going to be able to find it there. Nice Counter-Strike to at least secure that. And that, you know, kind of neutralizes that early lead that 14th Reason had over Midnight now. And it's looking pretty tough here. The early Drakes still probably going to go the way of ID just based off having the Talon and the rel consistency. But, you know, a nice scaling factor. 2 kills into the pocket of Kedu and 1 in the pocket of Sourcewalker should be nice acceleration for them.
Yeah, that's where you want those kills. Like Jack's scale starts to snowball pretty quick with some kills. Ezreal needs those to kind of get to his item spikes much faster. This is exactly where OMG wants to have these. Meanwhile, ID needs to find an option. Talon falls behind. He is basically useless. So we'll see how this goes. Is Gwenge trying to fight Flame, but Sourcewalker is here, gets the stun. Will Gwenge be able to escape on the run? The Udyr is Udi here.
Yeah.
14th Reason's coming up, though, so they might... If they try to dive this could be a little dangerous. They've got to be careful. Sourcewalker and Flame, they don't want to do it. They don't know where the Talon is, and they're a little worried about that wall. They're going to spot him on the vision, but they have good call from them.
Yeah. Wisely not going too far forward for any dive shenanigans. It is still a Udyr at the end of the day, and when passive's up, that is a scary beast of a man there, and they're actually just going to walk it away. I mean, Talon still, this is the strongest point in the game, needs to find some acceleration if 14th Reason wants to stay relevant throughout this game. So gonna need to see some 1+2 action with the Rumble in the jungle, maybe find a nice skirmish in the enemy jungle. Possibly could find something towards this bot side. It looks like he's walking towards it, but it is getting a lot of pings towards that area.
Yeah, they're looking for this dragon.
Seems to know well.
Maybe. No, they're just going to clear the wards first. I think they're trying to bait Kedu and Jost into a fight. But they're not going to get that Sourcewalker. On the top side, though, got to be careful. There are 3 members here. They look like... Look at it's kind of weird positioning where everyone's saying, like, everyone knows someone's around and knows something is up, but no one knows exactly what it is. So they're just going to chill, Zark, and just clear out this jungle. And they know... or they at least believe that the Rimble's on the bottom side, so they're going to call the Grubs as the option here, and ID going to back off on this attempted dive. You don't want to try diving Leona Ezreal.
Yeah, Gonna get a nice stun up, but there's so many people in Midnight has no flash. Gonna get caught out, and there's that acceleration that I was talking about. Finally, the Talon's on the board.
Yeah, Midnight has no flash, no life, no CS, no nothing. And now Gwenge is not gonna have. Well, actually, no, Gwenge is gonna be fine. You know, I thought that seemed much more aggressive than I thought, but Flame. Gwenge is actually trying to take this 2v1. Oh, here comes Yarg. They're looking for it. The ult coming down from the Rumble, too, is going to be a lot, but not enough to pick up Flame. And they're just trying to push this in. I think they actually are going to want these grubs. Gwenge on the run. The fire is spinning. Yarg going to try to pick up a kill and is going to pick it up. The support takes down the Aatrox.
Yeah, Udyr doing Udyr things, just 1v2. They didn't have the damage there. Flame and Sourcewalker get effectively kited out. And then after that, now Gwenge gets to clear the wave. Flame, no TP, so this is going to be a completely dropped wave here for Gwenge. And this is kind of going to even up that gold lead that initially found its way onto that Aatrox. So nice roam there from Yarg is going to actually secure all of that for the side of ID and kind of neutralize the early lead as they now find themselves in a gold lead. Dragon's still up, so that is some attention possible, but 14th Reason still at his power spike, so it should be quite good in this game.
Yeah, could be pretty good. Now, Midnight might go forward. Got to be careful. Yarg is here, is on a ward, though. Doesn't know it. 14th Reason goes forward with the flash, but Midnight will flash back. Ignite also burns. So flash for flash over two for these two. It's kind of a weird back and forth. Like, it feels like, will they, won't they, this whole time?
Yeah, but overall, getting the Ignite out as well is at least good there, so the kill threat is a lot lower, but you have no bearing to stay in this lane, so I'd like to see a TP pretty soon for Midnight, but because so much resources was committed in mid, that means the Dragon will go the way of OMG, and they're going to start off the game with something they probably shouldn't have had, considering the two comps that were drafted, you know. Yeah. Jack's not exactly an early game jungler, I'll say.
Yeah, but he's pretty good at soloing the Dragon, I would say. He's got a pretty good clear on that. As Gwenge is really pushing in Flame, despite being down the CS. It doesn't really matter. Like, you're Udyr and you can just AoE clear this whole wave. Oh, gotta be careful though. Flame trying to potentially look for some chip damage, maybe get a chance to fight Gwenge later, but it's all alone against this Udyr.
Yeah, just, you know, freezing the wave right outside the turret, preventing any dive.
Something's coming down the bottom side. Yarg gets separated by Midnight. Midnight is not going to be able to stop him from going over the wall. Yarg getting thrown back, getting stunned, getting ulted, and it is dead. Keto goes on a killing spree. And good roam there from the mid of OMG.
Yeah, nice coordination there to find Yarg, but Zark in a terrible position.
Yeah, Zark in a terrible spot, gets flashed on, trying to get out. Trying to run, but is going to get taken down. Joss going to pick up that kill. Wheeler going to flash the wall and escape. OMG just managing to find kill after kill this game. They've been really good at, like, kind of predicting what ID is going to do or where they're going to be at, and it's paying off.
Yeah, now Ketu is extremely ahead. 3-0-1 on that Ezreal. Should be able to get that Trinity Force really early, probably 11 minutes if I had to guess. And Flame is getting completely beaten up by that bear stance, almost taking Flame all the way down. Gwenge maybe looking for a dive, but so few minions.
Could use the Phoenix stance to try to just throw it, yeet it over there, try to maybe catch him with the chasing. Oh, 14th Reason looking, doesn't know where he's at, but he knows he's not to the left. Flame gotta be careful. Jost is here, so any dive attempt would definitely end in pain. But they have stopped the back. This is gonna give ID more time on this top turret. Gwenge time to get that gold scaling. Is only down 2 CS, so this will be a really big benefit. 3 plates for the Udyr.
Yeah, and you know, it really is a statement of how well ID has been playing besides those couple fights, is that the gold is really close despite, you know, that bot lane diff. You know, 10-minute, 40-second Trinity Force here for Ezreal means that, you know, that's something that they can play through, but the gold overall across the board has, you know, pretty much equaled out, and you know, that should be a good sign here for ID as they go on into this game with a lot of standing gold still up as well.
Yeah, got a lot of standing gold up. to take advantage of. And there's also some grubs up too, so potential to get more grubs for themselves. Always a good thing to go after. ID is going to actually start those up. I think they already have. Oh, they got the first, all of the first three, right? There wasn't any shenanigans over there, right? I have to take a check out their stats to see, but they are going to pick up all of these. It should be enough to get them all the
One
grub
void
spawns.
grub. Yeah.
One void grub. Yeah.
So they're gonna get 5 here, which is pretty good stuff there for the side of ID. They do have some champions that can side lane. Obviously, Tristana, extremely proficient. Udyr also not too bad indeed. So just gonna be able to grab that up very simply. Talon also, you know, pretty good catching waves, just leaving right afterwards. So I'd say pretty good stuff to get those grubs away from the Jacks potentially.
Yeah. Pretty good to keep those away. Also really help Udyr. Gets back on that turret. Gwenge is going to be able to just shred it to pieces. This is kind of a tank Udyr. Gwenge getting pulled back, though, is going to only take a little bit in that trade. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, you do see all of OMG just kind of chilling down here. Midnight has been found. The flash comes through. The ult comes through from the Rumble. They're looking from the burn. Will be enough. Zark's going to pick up that kill. And now they have control in the mid. There is the push in the bottom side, but Gwenge is getting pretty low. Got to be careful. The ult from the Aatrox. He is looking for it. The flash forward is gonna miss. Flame trying to hunt him down. The Phoenix stance. Could it be enough? Gwenge is just kind of dancing around this fight. Doesn't even worry. Thinks they can take it.
Oh my god.
I was just dodging all the skill shots. Gwenge is insane on this Udyr, but will they manage to pick up the kill? They will. This is crazy for this Udyr. Now Wheela on the run. Kidu looking for him. 14th reason is here. Zark is here as well. Yard going in, looking for the ultimate. Gonna pick it up. They're gonna pick up Source Walker. Yard gets the damage, but Kidu is on the back, just firing those Qs off. Jost gonna go down. Kidu trying to run, has no mana. He's gonna pick up Zark. Everyone dogpiling into him though. The flash forward, it misses from him. Kizzy gonna pick it up. He is not. 14th reason's gonna get a double kill, but Midnight is here to maybe pick up another. Yard is in such a I didn't even know you could get right there. But he goes down. Midnight going to pick up one kill. Wheela trying to look for something. Maybe could get a kill. Midnight's going to pick him up, but 14th reason will get the third kill and go on a rampage. What a chaotic fight.
What a crazy fight, but you know, the theme just stands. Yarg on this rel has been finding so many crash downs that just work out extremely well in the favor of ID, and they find themselves, you know, 1.5k gold up, and you're seeing exactly why this talent does get locked in. 827k mastery points. Obviously now that's like level 82. It's not as cool. Shout out to Riot for that one. I think it's really lame. Can we get a rework again? But they're just gonna claim with this dragon. Yarg in the area, but Zark trying to look for it.
Oh, the flash over from Zark. Looking for it, looking for Source Walker, hoping he can pick up the kill before he goes down. He will manage to pick it up, but they're going to trade it back. Wheela's going to pick up one. Actually, no, it's going to be 14th Reason picking it up here. Jarg trying to get away. 14th Reason trying to slow him down, see if maybe he can save. His support is not going to be able to, but Wheela is here, and the top turret will fall. Gwenge getting a really big lead here over Flame. He's going to run him down and throw more Phoenix stance.
How did top lane go so wrong? Gwen's just absolutely rolling right now over Flame. You know, the CS is at least still close, but it just feels so unplayable for this top lane matchup.
It is really hard. Like, Phoenix stance is just so powerful for Udyr, and it's so easy to just throw it and then get all the clear. But Source Walker is here. Gwen's got to run. I don't think is going to live this time. You can't dodge an AoE stun, and Flame is going to pick up that kill. Wheela on the run. Kidu trying to chase him down, trying to dash over the E, the Q. It's going to be enough. Kidu going to pick up that kill onto Wheela. And despite the 2 kill lead and the 2 dragons, ID does have a 2k gold lead.
Yeah, I mean, it's just looking so good. Getting that top lane turret at least extends the gold, and as long as 14th Reason doesn't go down, this gold lead should stand quite tall here in the face of OMG. Kedu has been playing extremely well. I feel like Wheela's been frankly outperformed throughout this game. So that's a bit unfortunate for ID, but it hasn't mattered as much since their coordination has just been a lot better for these fights.
Yeah, they've been just so much more. 14th Reason has found Flame. Can he pick up the kill? Talon versus Aatrox isn't usually a good matchup, but the ult from Zark coming on through. 14th Reason going to pick that up and dominating in this game. 6-1 on the Talon. Those 800,000 mastery points really showing their stuff here as he tried to go for the wall. Oh, but Yarg has been found. There's 3 people here hunting him. The channel, is going to get over, but now Midnight has surrounded him. 14th Reason was on a ward, has been rooted up, has been caught, and is going to get shut down. Meanwhile, Zark goes over the wall, so is Yarg. Zark's going to fall. Yarg's going to fall, and Gwenj is going to run for the hills. 3 kills for OMG, a double kill for Kidu. The bloodshed just keeps going in the Vanquisher.
What did I just say? I said if 14th Reason goes down, the gold lead will actually even up. So guess what? It's now back at even gold. The banger continues. We're back to almost 2 kills a minute. We're getting there for sure. So we'll see if they're able to, kind of stop this comeback here for OMG. As Ketu's going to E forward, and now Gwenj is in the area. Might be just able to catch up to this Ezreal.
Yeah. Gonna stun him. Yarg gonna go forward with the flash Q and the knockup. Kidu trying to run, trying to dash on out, but is gonna get shut down. Wheeler gonna Source Walker back to stop the stun. Flame is here though, looking for Gwenj. The teleports are coming through. ID may have bit off more than they can chew. The flash over the wall. Source Walker flashes forward, looking for the double stun, but can they get out? Gwenj still on the run. This Udyr cannot be stopped. The bear stance lets him get, the ram stance lets him get out. And now they're looking for Yarst. Yarst is going to get right on out. And I'm just going to take a couple turret shots. They know where he's at. And it's actually going to summon the grub.
Yeah, very good to at least tank that tower shot. But you saw there a nice coordinated play. They saw the Ezreal immediately use shift and then just chase him down with the help of Gwenj there. And that's kind of what makes this comp easy. You just play pick and you'll find something there with the help of the Tristana damage. Yeah, I mean the consistency for this comp is really what makes it so good. And then from the side of OMG, yes, your comp has a lot of individual things that work extremely well on their own against the comp, but together cohesion is not as good. So we'll see. They need to leverage kind of leads, and this is one of those leads is having Source Walker in this top lane.
Oh no, Flame gets another fight with Gwenj, but there are 3 people here this time to help him out. Can't loot. It's harder to win that. Gwenj on the run, trying to ram stance out. Is not going to be enough. Flame going to pick up that kill. And we find ID 4v5, 30 seconds until Baron. Teleport will be up. Gwenj will be up a second after it spawns, or a couple seconds after it spawns. So it has the potential to get in. Yarg looking for Jost. Source Walker pushing forward though. And ooh, good explosion there from Wheeler. It actually got quite a bit of damage onto Kidu. Both teams jockeying for position, trying to get a push going in this mid lane. Yarg has been very aggressive this game.
Yeah, Yarg has been, pretty much every time. And Kidu's just going to E forward onto that bomb. Midnight's getting caught out by 14th Reason.
Yeah, 14th Reason's going to get the shutdown, going to pick up that kill, but will be traded out of it and will fall. The teleport coming in from Flame. Try to stop him. Wheeler gets away from Flame. Flame was trying to get over the wall, but has to flash away. Zark drops the ultimate. Wheeler's going to pick up 1 kill, and now it's Source Walker versus 3. Zark on the side there just trying to buy space. Source Walker trying to hunt down Wheeler. He will pick up the kill. And now can Gwenj and Zark pick up 1 here on the side. They're going to pick up Joss. Kidu and Source Walker are so low, and they're going to have to back off. They could still poke down the side of ID, though. Yarg is trying to buy some space. And I think they're just going to let this dragon go away. First dragon of the game for ID. Should go over pretty easily. There is no ultimates to try to steal it. And a good fight from ID. They lose 1 member, or technically 2, but they do pick up quite a couple kills.
Yeah, and, gold lead back to 1K. We like a little bit of fluctuation. So, obviously, Rel, extremely powerful. I think so far in this game, showed off the power of just having a very consistent CC. And I think done a great job of peeling there. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to keep Wheeler alive, but yeah, I've been seeing that all game, and so far I'd give that shout out as a player of the game so far. But Gwenj out of position yet again. Source Walker not able to find the stun. Just going to be able to walk it off, and Kidu's going to E forward, but there's no threat on that position just yet. So going to just be able to get away with that, and a huge chunk on the Wheeler.
Chunk. Now Joss has been caught out. Yarg looking for him. Zark, though, getting so low. Kidu picks up that one. Wheeler on the run. 14th Reason behind, but yeah, it's 14 reasons to run away right now. Midnight's going to drop the wall, but that's just a quick escape for 14th Reason without the jungler. That is the call from OMG to start heading towards this Baron. They're all over here. They're going to start it on up. ID, are they going to try to contest in 14th Reason? Oh, has been found out by Midnight. Going to try to steal the Raptors, but may pay with his life. Meanwhile, ID going to take this mid lane. They're going to actually, OMG's going to call off the Baron. Gwenge is here. Udyr is still strong despite being 1 and 2. And they're just kind of chipping away at the side of OMG. OMG, though, kind of scared to walk forward despite the numbers advantage. The Rumble is not even in the area. Kidu going forward. Gets a big chunk onto Wheela. Yarg has been found. 14th Reason gets the ult and runs off. Meanwhile, Gwenge and Flame are just dueling. It's just, it's so like, it really is will they, won't they? Will they fight, won't they fight? And then something just happens. It's just, it's so weird the way that they're playing these fights, but everyone gets out with their lives. No one dies.
Yeah, you know, they kind of had a big window there with Sark going down, especially considering how much that Equalizer has been doing in these fights. So they had a window, couldn't find it because of, you know, a bit of footwork there from 14th Reason, or a little bit of baiting, I'd say, to actually just make them peel off of it, get a little too scared. So good positioning awareness there, and now Yarg is looking for Midnight, maybe be able to find him.
Yeah, could find him right here. Yarg trying to run, but Zark gets the ultimate. Huge onto Midnight. Midnight getting so low. Sourcewalker is here as well, trying to run, but is going to get shredded down by the Flamethrower. Flame beats Lamppost every day of the week.
Yeah, now your jungler's down, so that's just free Baron. So they should be able to just claim this up, but they're being a little bit slow on it. They might lose their window if they're waiting any longer. They want to group up with Gwenge and maybe find a fight mid instead.
Yeah, they're looking for it right here. Gwenge trying to dodge back and forth around Kidu, but he's getting super low. Meanwhile, Midnight has been found by the 14th Reason. 14th Reason getting him super low, and the Ignite will help get the kill. Jost is now being engaged upon. The rest of ID getting so low. Zark going to pick up 1 kill, but will fall to Flame. Flame looking to go forward. Yarg getting super low. Wheela here on the side. Everyone is kind of low. Wheela, why are you just standing there? Gets ripped to pieces. Kidu is going to pick up that one. Wheela has left the game.
Unfortunate DC there. Wheela just going to get taken out. Immediate reconnect, but that is unfortunate. Gets, you know, just AFK in the middle auto and gets taken out there by Kidu, and what could have been a Baron or you know, a reposition there on the actual thing just completely gets nullified, and unfortunate there for Wheela.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunate indeed. Looks like we're going to be going back to cameras as we wait for a quick pause. Everybody, unfortunate timing for Kidu, and even more unfortunate, we do not have the Hex Tech rewind. What's it?
Chrono Break.
Chrono Break. I don't know why I thought it's Hex Tech rewind. I'm thinking of the Hex Tech repair too.
Yeah.
So the Chrono Break we do not have, so we're just gonna wait for him to come back. Hopefully, ID that doesn't cost them the game, having lost that positioning. They had a good play there, but they got Midnight. They got Yost. I think. I mean, they even got the top side. So good potential here. But these teams have just been going back and forth, bloodshed after bloodshed. Oh, and we're back into the game. Flame. I'm going to watch him a little bit as he walks back up to the top side here. Everyone seemed to have backed off. No one else. Oh, Zark died there. We already saw that closer to the beginning of the fight. And now ID still up 2K, but having a difficult time. This is a much better game for Kidu. Putting him on the AD carry that has more mobility, allows him to get out of these fights and not get caught up by Yarg and Zark and Gwenge, is proving immensely more beneficial for the team.
Yeah, as well as I think Flame has done a great job, despite being a little bit down in gold, to actually play these fights out and find nice knockups onto Zark and Wheela in particular. It's just been extremely good to watch, but now Flame finds themselves in a very bad position. 14th Reason just going to go straight on, and that's just a free pick, and you could turn your sights towards Baron now that top laner who's been so problematic in these fights is now down. Yeah. It looks like they will.
Yeah, they're going to go right for it. ID starting up the Baron. This is where the game really swung in their favor last time. This could be another opportunity for them. OMG trying to make their way in, but Gwenge and 14th Reason are buying so much space. Hard to get onto him. Joss goes right in onto Gwenge, though. The ult coming down from Zark. Going to cut off the space. Sourcewalker's going to have to get away, and the Baron will go over to ID. And they get out. Yeah, they're not even gonna, OMG's not gonna even try to run them down. ID with the Baron, 4K up, Dragon up in 13 seconds. And we have Zark on the run trying to get over here. They want to fight for this. They want to try to fight for the Dragon. Get more of these Ocean Drakes stacking will be really helpful dealing with the poke from Kidu and Midnight. But can they get it? Can Yarg and Wheela get into position? 14th Reason's already on the flank. Zark is here. Gwenge is here as well. They don't know where 14th Reason is. Source Walker looking to go forward. Gets stunned out. The ult from Flame is there. It's going to miss. Oh no, 14th Reason coming in from behind with a huge ultimate, and they're going to find one. But down goes Zark. How the rest of Spyco? Kidu goes down. That's huge for ID. They're running down the rest of OMG. The Jax will fall. The Leona will fall. The Talia will not, but will run for the hills. And ID manages to secure the fight and the Dragon.
What a beautiful fight there from ID. I'm actually flabbergasted at how they actually set that fight up. They had obviously Gwenge on that bot side and then a huge flank from 14th Reason. Well timed, not too early on it at all. And, you know, that should solidify their lead in this game and really, you know, take them to the finish line here in this best of 3. So we'll see if they're able to make that clean execution to make that happen. But I'm extremely impressed by that fight setup. So, you know, big shout outs there. And that shows that they did do some practice as far as these team fights do work and these Dragon setups. That was a beauty to watch.
Yeah, it was a beautiful fight from them. Fantastic flank from 14th Reason. That was phenomenal. He got so much value out of that. And Kidu not able to get away this time. Without him, the team falls apart. Honestly, OMG, all of their gold is really like been funneled into Kidu, and the rest of the team really hasn't been doing super hot. I mean, like they're really enabling him, but if Kidu goes down, there's nothing to follow up with. They don't have the damage capability, especially Flame, who's been struggling all game with his Gwenge. Only has 2 items. Gwenge almost done with their 3rd. And now Gwenge trying to take a 2v1 again, but has a lot of armor. Let's see how it goes this time. The Bear on the run, trying to get out, uses the Ghost. Yarg here on the side looking for Joss, Wheela too. But Zark and 14th Reason are looking for Midnight. The ult's going to come through, and that will be enough. 14th Reason goes on a rampage. The teleport through from Flame looking for 14th Reason. 14th Reason, though, no way out of this. Zark goes over the wall, and they find it. They pick up 1 kill, but 14th Reason will fall. Yarg can just try to stun someone over the wall. It's a 1 for 2 in favor of ID right now. Kidu on the run, trying to chase down Wheela and Yarg, but Zar over here trying to push the turret. On the top side, we've got Gwenge pushing the top lane. It's just wall-to-wall pushes. OMG's walking like a ball, and they can't deal with this split pressure.
Yeah, I mean, so far it's just been too tough to actually survive the onslaught of the Talon in the side lane. I mean, nice layering there from the Equalizer is going to net them 1 more kill, but they haven't been able to actually crack these inhibitors. So, you know, while, you know, it has been clean play, they did get a Baron and didn't really get too much off of it, all things considered. They did get at least push out their waves, but, you know, with both Dragon and Baron spawning at the exact same time, they're going to need to make sure that they have a good map position before they can actually commit to one of these. But here's that replay of this flank. Nice footwork here from Zark. It's going to force Flame to go way too far forward, and as soon as Keto channels that ultimate, already committed so far forward, and Gwenge already on the flank, there's no way out. Such good play there on this fight. You know, so well played there from ID, and it really shows why they are 4-1. They have the coordination to make it happen, and yeah, that was extremely impressive. 14th Reason showing the Talon proficiency to quite a high degree. And now it's just a bit of posturing. Kedu a little bit far forward.
Kedu has been found. 14th Reason looking for him, but he's not going to get him. Just get him to half health and has to back off there with the ultimate. It's pretty low cooldown. It's already almost to a quarter after just a couple seconds, so should be fine. And ID still looking for the hunt. If they take Kedu, they could take a fight and just end this game. So it's all on OMG's AD carry. He's got to dig deep. He's got to play safe. And the rest of OMG really needs to buy space. It's kind of what they built this comp for. Throwing up walls, dropping stuns, throwing AoE stuns, being a big body blocker with Flame. Their whole goal is to buy space for Kidu. But can they do it? Can Kidu carry this team over the line? Keep them in the playoff hunt. Now the Dragon and Baron up in a minute. Just over. Zark Found Flame gets the ult down. They're looking for him. The ults are gonna drop. The flames will fall. The going golden though from Gwenge. Could it be enough? Zark on the run, trying to get away, is not gonna have enough, and he's gonna go down. Gwenge gonna fall as well. Flame managing to pick up that kill. That's 2 clean kills for OMG. And Zark and Gwenge, they'll be up in time. Actually, they'll be up just after the dragon spawns. So this is probably going to go over to the side of OMG unless ID manages to keep them from getting over there. There is a wave pushing the top side. 14th Reason could try to maybe catch someone and force them to stay back away from this dragon. Oh, he's looking for Kidu. He gets him solo. 14th Reason with a solo kill. And now Wheela trying to get away. Sourcewalker, Midnight, and Jawat moving forward. Or Joss moving forward. This is the 14th reason why you should be banning Talon against this man.
That was nasty. Just gonna find this is. By the way, that's not a 0 armor on that Ezreal. Also has some HP built up too. Has the bladed steel caps. Did not matter at all. Still just gonna get one-shotted. Didn't even have to use ignite. Just typical Talon gameplay stuff. And that means they're gonna get this dragon just fine. And without Kidu, you also cannot commit to this Baron since you're. The clear speed is just going to be so low. Jost kind of in a dangerous position, but not going to actually get caught out here. They're going to find Source Walkers, so they know no one is on that Baron. There's no threat. They're going to walk right in and probably just claim this in just a second.
Yeah, they didn't even get... OMG wasn't able to take advantage of anything to get that dragon. And now ID with 3 Ocean Drakes. And now starting up the Baron. They've got so much control here. OMG walking as a ball again, trying to keep Kidu alive. This Baron is going down pretty quick. They do spot it. Wheela is in a little bit rough of a position. Gotta be careful. ID coming back to the mid lane. They get that Baron clean, but OMG has the inside track on it. They're going to get the turret. 14th Reason goes forward. Josta manages to pick him up with a flash forward from him. They're looking for Kidu. Will they find him? They will. The ult from Zark is going to pick him up. Josta's going to fall to the fire as well. And meanwhile, on the backside, Wheela trying to get away from the Jackson is going to do so. Midnight will fall as well. Tristana gets a double kill. Flame will pick up 1, but it's not going to be enough. It's an ace and a triple kill for Zark and ID, and that's going to be the game. ID is going to walk it down the mid lane. 30 seconds until the first person even spawns. Actually, 20 seconds, sorry, until the Leona spawns. But I don't think that's going to be enough. The Grubs are here. The Baroned up minions are here. Everyone except the Talon is up on ID, and they're pushing on these Nexus turrets. They're going to take the first. They're going to take the second, and they're going to take this second game with a 2-0 sweep.
Huge equalizer is going to end the game here for ID. Nice 2-0 over OMG. Continue their kind of reign here. 5-1 now in the Vanquisher League here. And, I will say Zark did at least put up a nice showing to show why Rumble's at 99% presence in pro play. Similar levels can be found even around here. And so nice to see that, that proficiency is there. But I'd say a pretty clean game overall from ID. Again, there's a bit of hiccups in the early game. They just like fighting, and that's just how it is. Some of those skirmishes don't go their way, but overall, they made all the pieces work perfectly fine, and that's going to mean that they actually do find the win here and make it a pretty quick night for us here on the Vanquisher League.
Yeah, quick night and a GG from them. I've got to give the MVP to this series to 14th Reason. Carried game number 1 on the Aurelion, carried game number 2 on the Talon. Man is a monster in the mid lane, and there's still a couple things to work on. I think they need to work a little bit on their AD carry gameplay a bit, but it's a win is a win. You take it. You take a 2-0. You take that pride in that, and hey, there's some things for us to work on before we really start playing with the big boys in the top. And this is pushing them just closer to that. Meanwhile, the side of OMG, they're still close. They were keeping these games so close for a little bit. They had a really good early game. They got to get that mid game coordination kind of sorted out, get their ducks in order, and I think they might be able to really make some noise in this league.
Yeah, I think OMG now they sit 2-4. I think they still probably have a very small chance of making it to playoffs. They just need to win out the rest of these games, I think, if they want to have a good chance. But either way, I think they just need to work on identity mostly. Like they have some good individual plays throughout these players, but finding a team-wide identity that they want to play through would probably be extremely beneficial either in draft or in any other way. But either way, that's it from us. I don't really got much else to say besides I don't know if I'll see you guys in the Vanquisher League again, but if I do, I'm excited to see where these teams end up going.
I hope we see you
Yeah.
again. I've enjoyed having you here. You've been a absolute treat, Golden Gad.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, that's it from all of us. We'll see you all tomorrow for some more League of Legends action. Catch you all. Have a good night.
All my life, by my side. All my life, all my. One time from side to side. Without you by my side, my side, my side. Without you by my side. One time from side to side. Peekaboo, I see you, peekaboo, I see you. Looking at me, looking at you. Hold up, where you going? What you doing? Who you seeing? What you need? What you want? I said, without you by my side, my side, my side. Without you by my side. One time from side to side. Without you by my side, I can't go outside. Without you by my side, I can't go outside. Without you by my side, I can't go outside. One time from side to side.